hour with information.
99.3
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Because understanding Nigeria starts with asking better questions. Hard facts on Nigeria Info, the nation's #1 talk, news and sports radio station. Let's talk. 2 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour, welcoming you officially to the nation's #1 talk, news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audio-visual studios right here in the Maryann Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is the Big Hard Facts for today. My name is Maryann Okon. I did tell you earlier on that we would be going back to the issue of Rivers State. Yes, Rivers State is once again in the spotlight. Now, not because of policy or innovation or development breakthroughs, but because of a deepening political standoff that now threatens the core business of governance. Fresh impeachment moves, a fractured House of Assembly, and an unresolved power struggle between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, now FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. This has actually returned Rivers State to a familiar place of instability. Now, this conversation is not about personalities. Rivers State is too strategic, too economically important, and too resource-rich for governance to be repeatedly, I repeat, repeatedly held hostage by political conflict. And today on the show, we examine the Rivers crisis strictly from the standpoint of democratic governance, institutional integrity, and public policy. The big question is, what is happening in Rivers now? What happens with all this drama, back and forth between Wike and the governor and his people? How does this affect the development of Rivers State, being one of the key economic states in this country? And what does it say about the state of our democracy in Nigeria? My guest is a former IPAC chairman. He joins us live right now via Zoom. Always a pleasure to have him in the studio because, of course, we know that we're about to get into a very heated and serious conversation. Chief Peter Ameh is a former national chairman of IPAC, and he's also a governance, policy, and development analyst. Thank you so much, Mr. Ameh. Happy New Year, because I think the last time we spoke, it was last year. Happy New Year. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, as an IPAC chairman, of course, you obviously have your position on what's been happening in Rivers State, and I think that it's fair to also say that you've seen your fair share of internal squabbles in different states across the federation. Maybe this is the first of its kind for you, but let's start from a democratic and governance perspective. What concerns you most about the current situation in the state? That's Rivers State.
For me, it's the stability of governance in the state, because the Rivers State crisis, the political impasse in the state that, got into a level of crisis and completely actually, let's say destroyed, or let me just say on the my side, it has undermined the principle of separation of power. It has weakened the infrastructure for proper governance system in the state. And it has, made the state look like a theater of war, when consistently there's this anarchy, intention that the state will be brought into crisis if this is not done, and a drums of war from every faction, every group, whether the State House of Assembly or from Nyesom Wike, going about. And for the governor, who have tested honey and been a boy to Nyesom Wike, who had the opportunity to come around, and has also tested freedom. I want to remain to manage the resources without any level of godfatherism or interference. And Wike, who knows the importance of power, which he has used to negotiate all his life to be able to, project himself and then drive his political career. I also decide that it will be unfair for him to allow this honeypot to, go separately from under his control. So the challenge here is not just about, people trying to, struggle for control of state apparatus in order to better the welfare, to create a welfare system that will better the life of the people. But this is just about, self-protection, and, in trying to get power to sustain themselves in power. So that is where the anger for most people comes from. If this was about the Rivers people, if it's about governance, about talking about how many kilometers of road you have done, whether there's a poor quality of road, or whether the infrastructure have not gotten to certain local government of the state, one will get to understand and comprehend with it. But the challenge here is not just about governance, and governance is actually taking a hit from this, political war arena that has been created from selfish interest. So it is the people that suffer. And this is, if you look at it from the history of political background in Nigeria, you will see that the State House of Assembly is talking about come and present budget, come and present supplementary budget. People present supplementary budget if the need arises. But the man already have a budget that is in force, that is that is going to last until either June or so. So the man has decided that budget that was passed by National Assembly, I will implement it as the executive person in charge of the budget execution in the state, pending when we get to June. And for Nigerian political system, it's all about the money. Let's not tell ourselves lies. Because what the State House of Assembly is doing and what the governor is doing subtly is to deny them access to resources. So that the next election, they will not have enough money to fight him. He will be the one to have resources. Because the check and balance was to make the State House of Assembly have the ability to make laws for good governance and development of River State, and also have oversight functions over the activities of the governor. If the State Assembly were wise or have the technical team that was advising them, they shouldn't have even gone to supplementary. What they would have done was to try to look at the project the governor is implementing, call the contractors if the money being paid is over bloated, or money that looks as if there's a kickback involved in the contract awarded. Then these activities would have made them look as if they were working. But for them to also say the governor sent them 100,000 and they were angry, they returned it, that means it was this Christmas bonus you gave us is too small. Because how much is even minimum wage where you will say that is small? It's just that our politicians are living beyond their usual means. You want the Nigerian citizens who are civil servants to tighten their belt, to adjust and suffer from the bad economy, why you think that 100,000 is small when minimum wage is not up to 100,000 naira. So the challenge here is not for the interest of the people. Security of the state is not a stable condition. There might not be crisis, there might not be blowing up a pipeline, but you can see perceive the instability in the state. For people, people are, everybody's campaigning for their interest. The governor has his own faction, his own supporters who are saying he's Governor Fubara or nobody or nothing else. Wike is saying that he will never allow the state to go. And those of the national leaders of the APC who are for the first time having River State under the authority of their party, River State mainly funded, single-handedly funded the PDP for a very long time. And now they are announcing it, the leaders of the party are now saying, we have the governor, let's go to the governor. He's the one that has that is signatory to the account of the state of the oil well in the state. So these are the challenges that is there. People are just running around about personal interest, and the truth is not being said. Because as a political party manager, one of the things the party would have done, if truly they meant well, and yes, we agree that Wike is not in their party, but they know that Wike is a party member of the APC because he's working for the APC, and he has clearly
he will vehemently beg to differ.
He has stated clearly that he's going to work for President Tinubu for 2027 election.
Yeah, but he's not a member of the APC.
What the parties would have done, he said he has control of the APC chairman and the PDP chairman. So he's the first person that is breaking record to have to belongs to two political parties. So what the party would have done, if the party really had the interest, either the national secretary, the national chairman, was to call a meeting of the State House of Assembly members and the governor. Because that's how party authority is supposed to be displayed. It's not to say you take one side and totally say that, oh yes, we know your constitution say that the governor is the leader of the party. But going forward, I am very sure the same people who are telling Fubara today that is the leader of the party might end up giving the delegate list for the primaries to Jason Wike. So the challenge of our political system is personal interest and greed.
I didn't mean to laugh. It's ridiculous. What's playing out. And on a more serious note, when we see political rivalries like this overwhelming our institutions, what are the long-term risks? Because today is Wike and Fubara. Tomorrow it might be you and someone else. Who knows? What are the long-term risks to democracy, especially at state level? Also, are we seeing a failure of leadership? Or is it a failure of institutions? Or is it a failure of both? What do you think it is?
I think for me, it's a failure of both. It's a failure of the institution because if there were independent institutions, including executive institutions like the police, the security agencies, the court, and all that, these issues would have been arrested for a long time ago. But it's a fact that people believe, and that it's obvious that a lot of Nigerians have come to a very logical conclusion for reasons best known to all of us, that the courts are not really free from interference, that the police cannot take action without being controlled by the federal might. So this is where the challenge comes in. So because now, when you now talk about, how do you build a viral institution, a strong institution, a stable institution, when you find the House of Assembly, working in line with from a control of a puppeteer who is controlling them and telling them what to do. Look, we can pretend all we want. The House of Assembly is a very critical component of the democratic infrastructure that has been put in a River State to be able to look at how properly legislation are put together to be able to make sure that the ways of running the government run effectively without any form of personal interest. But today, what they are pursuing is not the collective interest of the people, including the governor. I must say, the governor has not really shown that he's a leader that can actually arrest some of this drift. Nobody should. I used to be totally on the side of the governor when the crisis started, because I know that the state of emergency declared by Tinubu was meant to be able to rein everybody in for his own advantage. Today, both all the three parties are working for President Tinubu. No party have won the River State since 1999. So for the first time, he's having an advantage that the governor is working for him. The governor is his job. He will not want to rock the boat, and then so the governor, we are not giving you tickets. If you are not giving the governor ticket, what is going to be the next option? His job people will revolt and say, no, we are the first time we are being governor in the state. You are denying all this opportunity. And then the vote will be given to another presidential candidate. Then you don't want to look at Wike, who has been the one who have done everything, whether constitutionally right, whether without proper procedure, without following legal framework, are giving you River State on the platter of gold, and then brought people into your basket of support. You don't want to offend him too, because he too will go with his 26 House of Assembly member and some of his own supporters in the state. So what the president is trying to do, let all of them be running hectare-scatter, and let me be the best visionary of this thing. At the end of the day, you give the 26 House of Assembly their ticket, you give the governor his ticket, and then they come back again and go for a second round of, I will impeach you, I will not impeach you. So if this is for the best interest of the people, there's no way the president would have interfered by suspending a constituted elected members of the House of Assembly, by suspending the elected governor of the state, because this was the height of the unconstitutionalism that took place in River State. And for us, this can only happen because the president controls the state apparatus of security, because he controls the police, the army, the navy. That's why it happens. If we run a true federal system where the subnationals have their own control, like it is, where the American state subnationals have their national guard and all the rest, there's no way you are going to wake up and suspend an elected government who enjoy the same level of immunity and the same level of elective processes as you have enjoyed as the president, as the chief executive of a federating unit, and then go without consequences. So the challenge here is that we don't have statesmen anymore that do work for posterity and try to establish issues that people can lay as precedents as things that are right. What everybody is doing now is that Fubara wants a second term, Tinubu wants a second term, the House of Assembly people want a second term and money. So this is all the challenge that we are facing. But at the end of the day, where is governance in the state? Where is governance in the state?
Is the question that I want to ask you also, because
there's no governance in the state, because the governance comes from is a tripod arrangement where the judiciary are doing their own to make sure it works. These national state assembly are doing the check and balances and making provisions and giving advice when necessary to the state executive. But the executive today is also running on a solo ground, and then doing things without any form of check. There's nowhere in the world where we have accepted to give collectively donate our governance right to a particular person to pilot over the affairs for a particular point in time, and then believe that genuinely, without proper check and balance, these people will not misuse the mandate being given to them. So this is a challenge, and for the whole challenge is the Rivers people that are suffering. Today, you find out.
You have
there's
answered my
high-
next question, because I was going to say that in practical terms, who suffers, when politics overwhelms policies, and all the development that should have taken place since last year. Don't forget that this has continued for more than a year.
I think it started even immediately the man was elected. It was quiet. They were trying to manage it, and then it exploded last year. And then we have to bear it. You will look at the disruption. There's timetable for conduct of campaign and all that. We had toured over 20 local government, and I refused to tour Fubara's local government on a thank you tour. And on that basis, you look at the political tension in the state, and people who are being mobilized, even the time where there should be productive use of people's of human resources to be able to work for the benefit and development of the state. They are going for rallies. They are going to be able to go for rallies and tie wrapper and then dance on your mandate you shall stand. Wike. So the challenge is no longer they have made it a demigod arrangement that it is either me or the people perish. And it is because of the people. That's why democracy was created in the first place. It is a right, given to you temporarily to manage the affairs of a state. You do not have a permanent right to that authority, which that check balance is for the National State Assembly to be able to withdraw. But today, the National Assembly have made a budget. I think in the right senses, the State Assembly, what they would have done is to be able to go and look at the project the governor is executing. If they are up to standard, if the budget is not overinflated, these are what they should be doing. It's not about supplementary budget because you feel election is coming and you need resources to be able to, also be able to spend on election day. Because this is a game. Everybody, all of them are playing game. None of them that is not playing game, to the detriment of the River State people.
Including the APC, because I'm going to ask about the APC and you as a former IPAC national chairman. I mean, what is the role of that the political party APC should be playing in this, being that, I mean, in the case of when it happened, the PDP took the presidency to court, the federal government to court on the issue of, but as for the APC, I mean, what do you think they should be doing? Are parties enforcing discipline and internal democracy, or are they enabling godfatherism in this case?
I don't think I'm surprised that there will be a time that I will agree with Wike about issues. But sincerely, when he talked about the 600 billion that is in River State account, and that is the reason why, the national headquarters and everybody is coming and praising Fubara, I agree with him. I totally agree with him, because you cannot have, Fubara just joined the party. So the kind of love that they are showing to him is on artificial ground. For selfish reasons. The party has a constitutional responsibility to make sure that a disciplinary procedure is established, or a peace committee is established to be able to look at the issues of the warring factions and then discuss with them properly and say, look, this is bringing our party to disrepute. This is giving our party bad image. That the State House of Assembly, you have claimed that you are members of the APC. The governor, you have claimed that you are member of the APC. And then for Wike, you have said you are going to work for the President Tinubu's interest. If you continue with this crisis, are you not putting the president and the party in bad light? So please come. This committee will meet with these people. Have a white paper report. Look at the white paper report and look at how to implement it. But for you see that the national secretary openly jabbing Wike so that the governor can be happy. There's a commercial interest in this whole thing, and this commercial interest will further undermine the collective essence of governance that is supposed to prosper and give development to the citizens of the state, who are supposed to be enjoying the FAC allocation that comes to the covers of the River State, that is supposed to be used for their benefit, will now be mostly used to play politics and keep entrenched interest happy.
Is this not the case? I mean, what's playing out with the APC now embroiled in it? Does this not reflect how political parties have deteriorated in Nigeria? Could this be the true picture of what's happening across the country, political party-wise?
Yes, our parties have issues, and these issues mainly comes from INEC. I'm telling you, it comes from INEC in the sense that people who get elected and don't get elected through transparent processes. And because of that, they are more of their loyalty belongs to people in power. Because today the situation we have is that the president is looking at putting governors together that will be able to use their structures in the state to deliver him to get elected for second term. The governors are running into the APC because they say the APC control the INEC, control police, control army, so that the president can help them to get elected. So it's a quick pro quo. You rub my back, I rub your back. That's what both of them are trying to do. And that's why you find out that, see, it's only in Nigeria that you find that elected officials have no respect for electorate. And this is the fault of INEC. Because if you believe that the electorate will be able to go to the polls and take decision that will be, that will be sustained by the Electoral Commission, that will be respected by the electoral, and announced in the way that it was cast, the vote was cast, then you will find out that a lot of elected people will be very responsive to the yearnings of the people. But today, people are looking at, we have had a lot of confession, even from the Akwa Ibom State governor when in the camp. He said, when there was a leak tape, I said that, if I get elected now, court will take my mandate. So we have a lot of revelation that people are not going because they love the policies and programs of the APC, or because the manifestos of the APC is very attractive, or they are convinced that the policies of APC have reduced hunger and poverty in the land. No, they are not convinced based on that. That is not their interest. Their interest is that we are going to tell our people who are members of our party, who are supporting us and our tribe, to be able to vote for the president. So that the president on the long ground will mobilize resources and strength to support us. So the citizens are not in the equation of their political calculation. But they will be surprised, because they were also surprised in 2023. Because if the people are committed, like we have seen all over the world with democracy, because if the people are committed and they are in their majority, there's no way they will not overwhelm the 6,000 people that are in government. They are not much. There's no political party today that can tell you they have 1 million members. None. I've been at the member of Inter-Party Advisory Council. So they don't have the numbers. It's just that the people too have become so docile and have resigned to fate and have become and disengaged from the process of governance. And that is why you allow political office holders, and they are behaving with an attitude of I don't care. I don't let them go and die. Whatever we have, we give to them. So the challenge here is that we need to have a robust reform that will be able to arrest this drift that is, destroying the fabric of our political and democratic engagement.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about those reforms. The INEC, new INEC chairman seems to be waxing lyrical. I'd like to take your thoughts on that. Lagos will be back right after this break. We're still talking Rivers politics and how it affects development and democracy.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
This festive season, feel the pink with So Clean Pink Powder Detergent. 2 times perfume. Soft on clothes. Here's to freshness that stays with you, even after the celebration ends.
Hey there, mums and dads. Did you know that some children are picky eaters and also do not get enough fruits and vegetables from their diet? Well Kid Baby and Infant Syrup is a food supplement from Vitabiotics that contains 14 vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C and zinc, as well as flaxseed oil, which supports brain development and all-round health. Well Kid Baby and Infant Tasty Syrup is for children 3 months to 5 years of age. Give your young ones a good start with Well Kid Baby and Infant from Vitabiotics UK, available in pharmacies near you.
Babes, I will be taking you to my village to introduce you to my parents. Mr. Man, you have jammed my jeep.
Abi, you did not see me trafficate me.
Just fix it, period, or call your insurance company.
Insurance again. Bros, I don't get you.
What? We don't have Cornerstone third-party insurance policy that cover up to 3 million naira when you hit a car or damage your property.
Shield your vehicle today with a Cornerstone third-party insurance that covers up to 3 million naira for third-party vehicle or property damages. You can also get Cornerstone comprehensive insurance that covers both accidental damage, loss, or damage resulting from fire or theft, and lots more.
Call 0201-280-6500 or visit cornerstone.com.ng now. Cornerstone, the future assured.
Today, in the ever-connected business world, business moves at unquantifiable speed, and the winners...
That's good to know. But the real question is, are your business tools really working for you or creating new headache? See, there's a kind of confidence you get when you know you got the right support. A solution built specifically for you, with both reliability and efficiency in tow. With MTN Cloud, you experience near instant operations thanks to lower latency, convenient billing with flexible Naira billing, and 100% data sovereignty, keeping you compliant. Visit cloud.mtn.ng today and get the cloud built for you. MTN, what are we doing today?
Attention secondary schools, the countdown is on for the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Season 9 audition. And here's the big news. The registration deadline has been extended to January 25th, 2026. Do you think your students have what it takes to speak up, stand out, and debate brilliantly? Then register now for the live auditions by visiting nigeriainfo.fm. All schools that have successfully submitted their registration online are expected to attend the live audition happening on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. Venue, Nigeria Info Studios, 267A, Etimian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Audition begin 10 a.m. prompt on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. Don't miss this opportunity to let your student voices be heard. Register now at nigeriainfo.fm. For sponsorship inquiries, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Wait till you fit take 200 naira run, eh? Hey, you go fit enjoy plenty of bonge flavors demo with the new Mr. Chef Smalley Seasoning Cubes pack with just 200 naira pereo. Eh? E dey for beef, chicken, mixed spices, all purpose and crayfish flavors them. Chicken money, plenty enjoyment every day with Mr. Chef Smalley pack. Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
Real moments, real season. Celebrate the joy, the reason. Real in every way this season. Malta Guinness keeps on nourishing. Malta Guinness is for the season. Malta Guinness is for the season.
Enjoy the taste of goodness this season with Malta Guinness. Real taste, real moments, real in every way.
Malta Guinness is for the season.
There's so much more to enjoy when you fly in Emirates Economy. More legroom, delicious regionally inspired meals, complimentary free-flowing drinks, and the latest movies, TV shows, music, and live sport. Some of the best entertainment in the skies. And our family services make your journey simple and fun. Plan your next trip and start the holiday early in Emirates Economy. Fly Emirates, fly better.
Lagos, get ready! Something new has arrived in Ikoyi. Introducing the brand new Moneyfield head office, now open at number 105 Awolowo Road, Ikoyi. A modern banking space designed just for you. Faster service, smarter banking, and a team committed to helping you grow.
At Moneyfield, we provide a full range of financial solutions to support individuals, SMEs, and growing businesses. Our services include savings and investment products, personal and business loans, virtual accounts, salary and SME loans, cards, USSD, dialing *5684# to transact, and many more.
Visit us today at number 105 Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, and experience banking built on trust, innovation, and excellence. Or visit any of our 6 branches in Idumota, Onikan, Trade Fair, Oshodi Shopping Complex, Yaba, and Ijora.
Moneyfield Microfinance Bank. You are in good hands.
No matter where you are, city or out of town, you deserve a great reliable connection. The Airtel 5G Smart Connect not only delivers that, but also gives you unlimited data to stream, download, and browse in your home or office. It also comes with wider coverage and super fast speed, all for just 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to start enjoying unlimited data now. Airtel.
From breaking headlines to the conversations around it. This is 99.3.
Why is it that the terrorists are killing us over 14 years? They could not sweep to action.
Because you would think if there was a government in this state, in this area, there is an expected disposition.
Security is everybody's duty. Where I'm staying, I've never even seen a policeman.
Probe EFCC detains ex-AGF Bellamy.
Governor wants to come from one party to the other. That's all they focus on.
Imagine it was PDP that is rolling over 2024 budget. What the APC could have done in the media. I cannot waste my time to go to the polling booth to vote again anymore. It is over.
Stay informed, stay aware, join the conversation. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Hard Facts.
Welcome back. This is still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. 32 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour on the big Hard Facts. Today we're looking at what's happening in Rivers State. We're looking at the impact of what's happening in Rivers State, how it affects development, democracy, how it makes us look generally, and our political party systems, what our priorities are as a people, and of course what our politicians say as opposed to what they do and what we see. My guest is a former IPAC chairman, Chief Peter Ameh. He's joined us live via Zoom. Before we went on that break, you talked about the fact that INEC is at the heart of all of most of the internal problems in political parties and why things have played out the way it has so far. But the new INEC chairman seems to be talking tough and in preparation for off-cycle elections or the few elections we're going to have before 2027. How trustworthy are the things that are coming out of his mouth?
I think it's just mere mouth, public speaking engagement and in trying to make sure that people try to develop renew confidence in the work of the commission. Because I remember when I had several meetings with Mahmoud Yakub, who was somebody I had several personal interaction with. And I know how much the things he said, including saying how his family, wanted a fair and fair election and he wants to write his name in good. But the glitch happened, and the glitch that happened in today had not been explained. There was no, public inquiry set up to investigate the process. It became a secret affair of the internal workings of the commission. Because if he wanted something that Nigerians could have boosted Nigerian confidence in the electoral process, there could have been, national body inquiry set up to, from non-partisan actors, from media, lawyers, and all that, to come and look at what, the accusation that they are going through, and then come out with a blueprint paper that will, either exonerate them or find them wanting, and then they would have adjusted. That would have, encouraged Nigerians to build interest in the electoral system. But INEC is largely responsible. Largely as seen, because these political actors you are seeing believe that they can do whatever they need to do and get themselves re-elected into office, that they can use the power of state to undermine the power of the electorate and get elected. Because the rift is not in the best interest of the people. It's not for the interest of the people. It's for personal reason. It's for them to entrench themselves in power. And the citizens have, let me tell you, the citizens also have a side to blame. There's the disengagement. People say poverty. That poverty has, actually eroded the principle, the principles of the Nigerian electorate. Because if you look at, we are not the only poor people. Rwanda has poor people. Kenya has poor people, and their electorate are still determined to do what is right, to engage the electoral process, to go cast their vote for a candidate of their choice. There's nothing like wasted vote in an election. For those of us who have done this advocacy for years, there's nothing like wasted vote. The vote you are casting is for you to be able to, say that you have carried out your constitutional responsibility towards, the development of democracy and the promotion of human rights. So you cannot now come and say you are not going out, because invariably those who do not go out to vote are responsible for those who are the bad leaders that were elected. Because if you have 90 million registered voters and you see that only 25 million is coming out during the general election, the number is is low. So we need to have many as 50 million that will overwhelm the system also, and the system will not be able to do what they need to do. So these are all the issues that we need to look at it together, because politicians are very crafty, and most of them are doing it because they need to have a source of money, because money actually determines a lot of things. They have money to mobilize. Look, there's no rally people are doing today that you look, some of them, they spend up to 50 million in trying to mobilize people to that rally. They give money for vehicles, they print t-shirts, they bring musicians and all that sing their praises to high heavens. It costs a lot of money. Our election, people say elections are very expensive, including America. Elections are very expensive, but in America, the money is donated by those members of the public. They are contributing their little pounds and their little dollar to the for the promotion of democracy, so that their candidate can have enough money to print t-shirts, to do jingles, to do advert on TV. But our own here is very expensive. It's not expensive because of that. It's expensive because you have to give each of those people who are your supporters, you have to pay for their medical bills. You have to be able to pay for their wedding anniversary. You have to be able to pay for their newborn babies. You have to pay for their surgery. So this is why ours is expensive. And it's not the fault of the people that are having this problem. It's because the politicians have deliberately used public funds for personal use and embezzle this public fund, so that the hospitals are not there, the good roads are not there, the schools are not there. So these are the challenges. So it is a vicious cycle. That if we need to eliminate it, the citizens must wake up to not just a responsibility. We'll make it a collective agenda that when we go for election, we will try to dismantle this structure of criminal acquisition of electoral votes, to be able to make people, to declare them elected where they were supposed to be rejected by the people. So these are just all our challenges. And if we can fix this electoral system, we will see that our politicians will become humble. They will start to speak to citizens with some level of respect. And self dignity. Because today they don't see they don't respect any electorate. They talk anyhow, they misbehave anyhow. Even the media, that is the fourth estate of the realm, must also be looked at in the way that resources must be available even from ordinary citizens. Because if you read some of the subscribers, New York Times and all this, people subscribe, they're paying money. So that because free media, committed media, it costs a lot of money. So these are all the things we have not gotten right in our democratic framework that is making us look as if some of us Nigerians don't know what they need to do. Okay. We know what we need to do. Nigerians are not stupid. Nigerians are good people, hardworking people, but our politicians have stolen our common patrimony to a point that is now affecting our sense of mental reasoning.
I want to open up the phone lines. A lot of people are itching to ask questions, to comment, to be part of the conversation. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation on WhatsApp. It's 0809597585. You can join the conversation via telephone 0201-277-0993. That's 0201-277-0993. For the ladies, it's 0201-465-7190. And those of you who are wondering why we have a separate line for the women, because we need more women to participate in the conversation. And if they're struggling the line with you men, you're expert callers. You will not let them get through. So yes, do not ask me why we have female callers, female lines. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
My name is Ambrose.
Go ahead, Ambrose.
Maryann, talking about INEC. See, it's not just INEC alone. See, the three major problems that we have is INEC, the judiciary, and the security system. And until those three they are put in place, you cannot have, for example, now your company, you have a messenger. Your messenger must do your bidding. INEC is not truly independent. The judiciary is not independent. The security agencies are under the executive. So these three things, there is nothing anybody can do about it. And I want to tell you again that if they cannot register new political parties and do political reforms, forget it, Maryann. I'm not going to vote. They should do political reforms and register new political parties. That's how INEC behaves every electoral process. Okay. But this time around now, they are silent. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambrose, for calling. 0201-277-0993. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, Maryann, actually, good evening, and thank you to our guest. He has said it all. For me, this time around, I think it's between us and the political party. Look at ADC, man, had a rally somewhere in Kosofe, what they call that place. It was attacked. They did in Ekiti. They was attacked. Eh? If these people are not ashamed of themselves, if, like the man said, if they are doing the right thing, people should vote for them second term, not by this, by force, forcing everybody, scattering everything. So I'm still saying it. The fight is between us and those politicians. Like you said, they are not up to 1 million members. Any of the political parties, they don't have up to 1 million members. We, the non-party members, we are more in number. It's high time we stand our ground and defend our vote. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for calling. I appreciate it. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Turn off your radio.
Good evening.
Turn off your radio.
I'm sorry. Hey, you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the one of Odogbolu. You see, all this, our political and the politics. It's when the election start coming like this, you see here, you start hearing good grammar, good this thing. Then when the real time comes, none of these people that blow this big grammar will come out. We cannot see them. Then the politician will now use the Agboro to intimidate the little one that go out there to vote. I want to know, this APC, PDP, and the SDP, are there no other way we can do away with them and focus, even if an independent person come out without any political help?
All right.
Can we vote for him?
Thank you very much, Eze. First and foremost, the Nigerian Constitution does not allow for independent candidacy. Just to put that out there. Would you like to add something, Chief Ameh?
For me, I really need to talk to the man who talks and says he's not going to vote. And I think a lot of people should not buy into him. I protested all the protests that happened last year. I was there. You know, I'm not somebody that should even be part of protests, but I think I've seen that I'm going to dedicate my life. I know, and as somebody who is an unrepentant advocate for multi-party democracy, inclusivity process in our democracy, I've taken INEC up to Supreme Court about how to register more political parties and not to register. I've done this. These are practical things we've done. So, but the issue we are telling you is that you could register 200 parties. There was a time when I was there was 96 parties. I was the IPAC chairman at the time. I was IPAC secretary general. The truth, why the judiciary told or fall as a victim to the executive is because, one, they believe that whether you like it or not, the executive is going to get itself re-elected. So they are afraid that if they don't do their bidding, they will come back through unconstitutional means and then deal with them. So if you have a standard procedure, a standard electoral framework that will protect the vote of the people, and the people also know their right to protect their vote. Let me tell you something. Today in Iran is an repressive society where people do not even have freedom. People are protesting. Nigerians are too afraid to even call and defend their own right, and they expect those in power to help them to solve the problem. Protest is a constitutional right. If you look at chapter 4 of our constitution, it is a right to act as a pressure group against government. Not today that you find out that everybody coming to read press statement is being sponsored by those in power. Now, today you find out that when Nigerians are protesting against bad governance, there's also a counter protest sponsored by government, because Nigerians have made their tools in the hands of those in power. Whether they are suffering or not, they are ready to collect that 1,000 and they say it's their share. That was why it started in Ondo, when you hear that the Boko Sobe. It is the most derogatory statement that have been made by any political party in the history of our country, that people should take money to go and vote and then cook soup. How long will that soup last? So Nigerians must know this insult that is coming from people in power is because of their disengagement from the process, their non-participatory interest in trying to entrench the democratic culture in our country. If we are not willing to follow democracy the way it is done, because citizens have a role to, if you go to America today, you go to Capitol Hill, sincerely, man, you'll be surprised that people are protesting for the right of dogs. People are protesting for the right of people who don't wear wig. People are protesting for people who are carrying low cut, because it is this democracy, it is this, all these protests, these are fundamental right to expression, fundamental rights to freedom of movement, fundamental right to freedom of thought and to impart thought, that gives you the leverage to see that these people who are representing the National Assembly will say, these people, they come tomorrow, they will come protest. So they'll be tired and they will do all, it's not just the three arms of government are not the only check that the democracy put. Democracy comes with liberal democratic principles that has to do with the fundamental rights of the people to engage the process, not on election day. What we do is that Nigerians believe only on election. They come to election, they vote, they go home and sleep, and wait for another 4 years of election. So the people in power have ample time to maltreat them, to mistreat them, and to suffer them and also steal their money. So, but if you have a process when you participate, because election is supposed to be pre, during, and post activity. It is not a one-day affair. It is a process. So Nigerians don't understand that, and they think that they can just disengage and then carry their card. Look at Lagos. Since 1999, no party has been able to win Lagos, even when PDP was in power. But the people decided that they wanted to declare that Lagos belongs to them. The citizens decided. So it is that the people can do anything. Kanu, Kwankwaso came with a party that is not in power, NMPP. Just like what Labour Party did in Lagos. They came with a party that is not in power, NMPP. They campaigned and the people voted against the APC. And NMPP won Kanu. Today, the governor is the campaign. And the citizens are going to still gather there, those who voted for him, who is now trying to deny the manifesto and the constitution of that NMPP to go to APC. The same thing is happening across board. It is the citizens' interest in government that will also help us to checkmate the excessiveness of those in power.
All right. Let's take a few more calls if we can. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good evening, Maryann.
Good evening.
Uzoma on the line. Oh.
Hello, Uzoma. Go ahead, please.
Okay, well done, sir. Okay, please, I want to say my own. No. You see those people that came out the other day, said they are from Igbo, Southeast, said they came to campaign for this thing on behalf of Igbos. Now, lie you, they are on their own. No. As far as they are concerned, we will make our choice this time around. And there's no more going to court again. No more go to court again. In Jesus' name, amen.
Jesus is not a politician. I keep telling you guys this. 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann, good evening.
Good evening.
AB speaking from Ekpe.
Go ahead, please. Turn off your radio.
The defection is expected. See, it's not that they are Muslim, this project, but when this president was in opposition, he was the one sponsoring all these parties. So it's expected now that he's in power. They are just paying his goodwill back. All right? I'm talking about 96 political parties. Are we in the forest? In America, they do too. Why 96 political parties, for God's sake? Is this how we're going to solve Nigeria problem? No. And I want to say that this APC government, by the grace of God, they will win again 2027 because the president is hitting the ground. We have a lot of things like the NEL Fund and a lot of other things, the roads, Calabar Road, Lagos Calabar Road. So I pray we win again. So thank you very much.
So those are a lot of things. Wow, I didn't know that two things were a lot of things. Chief Ameh, mind to respond?
America does not have two political parties. I need to let you know that.
Those are the two major political parties that America has.
Party because what they have in their place, because election is free, so they have what they call access to ballot. There's a certain amount of threshold you will get for you to participate in that level of election. So if they have over 200 political parties. If it's not 300, South Africa has over 300. You don't understand about democracy. Democracy is not something you can conscript, something you can restrict. It's about people believing in something. If a group of people believe that what they want to do is green party, and they want to talk about vegetation, they want to talk about forest deforestation, you cannot stop them. You cannot restrict their right to engagement. That's what democracy is. And that's why the Constitution made it very clear. So you can decide they can be there. Government doesn't fund political parties. If you say government were funding them, you say, government is wasting money. In fact, in every political party, they will have a desk officer who they pay. So you are also expanding employment. But the issue is that people think that, like you said, Bola Tinubu was funding the party people who are defecting. It's not true. They are defecting because they are afraid. They are afraid. They have said it. They are afraid of the election not being transparent, not being fair, and they believe that the INEC, as presently constituted, does not have will not have the courage to do the right thing. But our problem, like I've told you, is because our citizens are docility and not engagement in the political system is actually emboldening the autocratic attitude of those in power.
I always say that the average corrupt politician is banking on our mindset that, oh, our votes won't count, so no need to come out to the election, so that they can continue to rig the elections. But I think that our plan should be to surprise them and come out in our numbers. Even if it's our first time voting, let us show up. I'll take one last call before I let you go, Chief. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do call me back if that was you. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello.
You're not supposed to call the female line. Are you a woman? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, Maryann, I greet you.
Good evening.
I greet your guest. I respect his opinion. Yeah, my name is Rapushku. I'm calling for Alemos.
Okay, Happy New Year, Rapushku.
All right, I wish you, sir. I think one Nigeria opposition, Nigeria will be demanding is I make chairman that will be competent and consistent to Nigerians. You know, that give us credible, free and fair election. I want to be fighting for and demanding it from now. Because without all the credible, free and fair election, all these babas, yeah, because everything is stable. And we don't want to hear if you are not satisfied, you go to court. So Nigerians, rather than demand for credible and free and fair election. Thank you. That's my take.
All right. Thank you, Raparu, for calling. I do appreciate your thoughts. I can take one. Yes, I can take one quick call.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, you have 30 seconds. Yes.
Yes. Let me ask you, the IPAC chairman that is there. All right.
What is your name and where are you calling?
Okay, my name is Olayin Kashiwaja from Lagos. Let me ask the man that said that is IPAC chairman. Is it the same INEC they are complaining about that conducted the election in the 5 Southeast and the 6 South and the 6 Southeast, where a particular party won over more than 70 elections there? Is it the same rigging INEC that conducted the election?
All right, thank you very much. I gave you 30 seconds because I have just about 40 seconds for my guest to respond and we can go. All right, so he's saying that, okay, so how can you be blaming INEC for rigging elections if certain parties won in certain places? A case that APC members make all the time. Go ahead.
Let me tell you how elections are rigged. Elections are not rigged from all the polling units. We have 197,000 polling units. The INEC, the parties and the INEC have no capacity to rig everywhere. Look at in 2015. Kanu brought 2 million votes. Jega asked the man, you brought 2 million votes. He said yes. He said no void vote. The man said yes. No cancel vote. He said yes. You know, somebody brought 2 million votes. There was no single mistake from Kanu. That was in 2015. So when you look at the last election, Ekiti brought their vote. People rig where they have strength. That's what happens in election. And for the last election, anybody who tell you that there was no rigging is not telling you the truth. I was in Kogi State. I was there throughout. I know what happened. People lost their life for election. So what we should do is that people should know that INEC has not such capacity to rig election like people give to them. It's because there's low voter turnout, there's low engagement with the electoral process.
Have to go.
That's why you find out this criminally entrenched
we have to go.
Our
Chief Peter Ameh is former IPAC chairman, and thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate you. That's it, Lagos. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Back in a moment.
Baba, make you hip.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.